My collaboration discovery, when I began to open myself up and bring a group of people around to kind of help me with my teachings and my lesson, there were some wonderful, incredible things that began to happen to me. This will be so much fun because I'm going to teach you the law of collaboration, which basically says some of my best thinking has been done by others. Now, in the beginning, as a communicator, I didn't do collaboration. This was what I would consider to be my first big mistake as a communicator. I just did it myself. I didn't ask anybody to help me. I didn't have a group of people that would give me feedback after I spoke. I was the Lone Ranger, okay? I was just the Lone Ranger. And there are three reasons that I really didn't collaborate in the beginning. And the first one is, just to be honest with you, I wanted the credit. I wanted to be so good that when people would hear me speak, they'd just say to me, "Oh, Maxwell, you're just amazing," okay? And that's just a young kid that's probably got too much of an ego wanting the credit. But honestly, that's one of the reasons why I didn't collaborate. Second reason I didn't collaborate is because I wanted to prove myself as a communicator. If I have everybody helping me, then how much do I know? And I kind of wanted to let everybody know that I know quite a bit and that I worked on this lesson pretty hard myself. And so there was a proving ground that I was working on as a young communicator. So I wanted some credit. I wanted to kind of prove myself. And then thirdly, just speaks of my stupidity. Honestly, I didn't know that I needed help. In fact, it never entered my mind that I should ask people to kind of help me build a lesson or give me feedback after I taught that lesson. I just didn't realize how important it really was. In fact, I would like to say that this was just in the first few years of my communication, but I would have to tell you that it took me 15, 16 years as a communicator before I began to learn the incredible return that you get on this law of collaboration. In fact, here's how bad I was. When I would develop, and I started off as a pastor for 25 years, I was a pastor. So when I would develop a message, I wouldn't even allow my secretary to type it. I took a handwritten message in the Bible, literally up on the platform. And I didn't even let my secretary type it because I wanted it to be fresh to her. I didn't want her to say, "Well, I already typed that. I know what he's going to say." And so that's just kind of how bad I was. But finally I changed, and I really didn't change until I had a terrific friend of mine, Tim Elmore, who came on my staff when I was in San Diego, California. And one day we were talking at lunch, and he was talking to me about the message I just preached on Sunday. And he began to share with me his thoughts. And he said, "Boy, I love this thought, John. And why you gave that, I thought, boy, if you would have said this, it would have even maybe taken a little bit higher." And in a lunch conversation with Tim, and he was very good at building lessons, very good communicator himself. All of a sudden I realized, look what I've been missing. I've just been hurting myself. And I enjoyed so much that conversation that I began to ask him to kind of work with me on messages, and we began to work with, and some of our greatest conversations, we would tell you, was when we were creating some kind of a new lesson. And it was so much fun that it began to open my eyes that I needed to bring people around me to help me build the lesson and then give me some feedback after it was done. But Andrew Carnegie said something that was so important I want to share with you. He said, "It marks a big step in your development when you come to recognize that other people can help you do a better job than you can do alone."